what other issues have been overshadowed by COVID-19.
Mental health, I think, is the biggest one. I mean, we were stuck home for 4 months at bare minimum, and I know a lot of people struggle. I mean, people around me certainly struggle that way, and I think that the biggest focus needs to be there, for sure.
I guess they didn't really have much of a backup plan prepared economically. Well, they did, but it kind of was felt pretty abrupt, maybe.
I think just housing has been something that maybe has not been taken as seriously just due to the pandemic and people focusing on overall health and not the factors concerning health. So the mitigating factors related to health, I think, have been overshadowed by COVID.
Oh, gee, I'd say everything else. I mean, COVID's kind of been the dominant thing. So really, I mean, there's been nothing in particular comes to mind, but I would say it's just been such an overarching thing in the world that we don't really pay attention to much anything else these days. So yeah.
There's such a focus every morning now. It's on the radio. So does it become the norm? I don't know. Should we start looking at things that are maybe more important? Financial stability of the province, of the country. I think that'll be important to understand, and maybe we should start thinking about that as opposed to COVID every day, all day.
Oh my God, I think everything. There's been so many things go on the other side, like in other countries that have not made the news because everything is focused on COVID, or maybe everything was focused on the American election for a while too. I think mostly issues in other countries and related to the military that have not been brought up.
I think we can use our experiences with COVID to think about climate change, because we're in this global pandemic right now, and we're realizing that we have to make sacrifices to take care of everyone in the world, and we're also in a crisis right now with the environment, and we're shutting down borders where it's affecting our economy, and we're also having this crisis right now with climate change, and we haven't made those kind of sacrifices.
Well, of course, all the operations people have been waiting for, and I read an article in regards to cancers that people haven't even been diagnosed with, that they haven't had the chance to see their doctor. So a lot of that stuff is in the back burner. So and of course, how about opening some of the restaurants so the people can come out, you know?
A lot of housing, housing needs, homelessness, old people housing was a lot of issues came forward because of this. Indigenous people communities, it all kind of came out of this.
Yeah. The economy, for sure. All the nice bars and restaurants I used to go to are closed. You know, I wish it didn't happen, but it did. I mean, I wish they would come back, but some of them are not. But I'm going to miss them all. But just support your local economy, that's it.
I think the environment's sort of been left behind in it. Like before COVID, it was constantly in the news, like all the climate change issues and everything. And now it's sort of on the back burner. It makes sense that it is, but I'm sure it'll come to the forefront once this goes over. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of racial issues, like this world is really it's going downwards. And I just feel like a lot of people didn't really get to express their feelings about everything this year, especially like, Palestine and, Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. And also, the children that they found. I feel like a lot of that stuff is just overshadowed by COVID.
I can't think of anything offhand, but what I would like to happen is the government provide more housing for the low-income people.
Probably mental health. Mental health has been kind of taken a back seat. We used to be able to comfort other people with either seeing them if they're depressed, but now they're just isolated, so it was kind of hard for a lot of my friends because they were staying isolated and I was still like wanting to check on them, and they would make videos of how they felt and I would just like want to go out and see them and cheer them up, but that was kind of prevented with a lot of protocols.
The issues that we have with racism currently in Canada.
I'd like to see more on national issues, particularly healthcare, and more provincial issues as well.
My son, he has a mental illness, and Like, he finds this very hard, depressing, whatnot. So, yeah, it has affected a lot of people that way.
I feel like that people that own small businesses, I feel like they have been affected greatly, and the news isn't talking about them a lot because they're the ones that are suffering most from it, because all the people that are buying from small businesses, they aren't able to go and shop there, and the store owners, they aren't able to support their families anymore. And that just creates a great big long chain effect, and I haven't heard much of that on the news recently.
No, I think the biggest issue that I would raise would be the inconsistency with respect to public health policies province to province. I think that is one of the issues that I think at some point in time should be considered with respect to some sort of a national strategy as it relates to public health, as opposed to creating inconsistencies between provinces.
Oh, well, we're inundated with that. No doubt about it. I mean, I'm getting to the point really where I don't even watch the news. I think the news became entertainment for a while when people were stuck at home. But now that we're more apt to be able to get out, I watch the news very, very little. You know, only what pertains to me, like getting a PEI pass to get off this island.